Thank you for joining us today. We're doing a theraband class. You need a very long theraband in order to make this a lot of fun. You can choose the resistance that works best for you. Whatever one you have is going to be just great. Let's get started. Beautiful Pilates people. We are going to take that band and we're going to bring it right behind our chest. And I'd like you to bring your arms, we're getting ready for a hug a tree. So let's go with our feet hip distance apart. Reach your arms out towards the side so they have just a bit of a resistance right there. And then I'd like you to round, hug your tree, and open. Okay, we're going to do this a few times as we start to get into our breathing and sort of just welcome yourself into the class today. So the band is somewhere behind your back, maybe around the upper shoulder, or rather the rib area. And as you're breathing into that, let's see if we can have the feeling that the shoulders or the ribs are opening with each breath. So you feel the resistance of the ribs along your band. Now this doesn't need to be a lot of resistance because we have quite a lot of exercises today.
Wait a second, I'm sweating already.
You're such a liar. It could be hard. I mean, this could be a hard exercise, you know. So your arms are wide.
My arms are shaking.
Don't pay attention. Let's do two more. This is why we don't teach together anymore.
Only once in a while because you can handle once a year.
I can't handle it. Now I'd like you to reach your arms out towards the side, but just a bit in front. The arms are long, and you could still feel or see the fingertips out of the corners of your eyes. I'd like you to start to lean to one side. Both arms are gently pressing towards the front. Back up to the center and lean towards the other side. Good, and you'll do this a few times, sort of experimenting with that range of motion, coming up and over as you go. And up.
It's like a windy landing, sitting in the airplane.
Well, let's not talk about that. We fly in a couple weeks. I do not want any windy landings. One more time each side.
But we have a good pilot.
Mm. And reaching up and over. Good. Keep the resistance on your band and go into a Pilates V position, that the heels are together, toes are out towards the side. I'd like you to bend your knees, making a diamond shape. And then stretch your legs and gently squeeze them together. We do that a few times. A little bend and a stretch. Okay, keeping the resistance on the band. Your arms are reaching out towards the sides. Let's do 4 more just like this. Feeling almost like if you had a wall right behind you that you're sliding down the wall. Great, everyone, that's looking awesome. Now keep your legs long, lift your heels as high as they go. So maybe the heels come away from each other, the heels meet, and then they go back down to the floor. And lifting up. The most mobility that you can find in your ankles going all the way up and down. Continue. Now depending on how much padding you have in your mat, you might feel your ankles moving around a little bit. We're trying to stabilize as best we can, but depending on that surface, that might be a pretty good ankle workout. Let's do 2 more. Again, keeping the resistance pressing away from you. Well done, everyone. I'd like you to now lift only halfway up. So the heels are still pressed together. You might need to make your feet more narrow to find that. Good. I'd like you to bend your knees and stretch your legs. We're going to do that a few times, bending and stretching your legs. Two more. Now I'd like you to bend your knees and we're going to stay right here. We do little pulses, 8 of them. 8, 2, straight up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Stay right here. Try to do your hug a tree and open. We do that a few times. Hugging and opening. 3, 2, good. 1. Stretch your legs for a moment. Good. Keep the resistance on your band. Good. Keep your heels just lightly lifted, squeezing the inner thighs together. Go to one side, just like we were doing before with your heels down, and back up to the center, and leaning up and over to the other side, and back. We have about 4 of those, kind of exploring that side space. Breathing how you want to, how you need to. After your last one, bring your heels back down to the floor. Congratulations, everyone. Well done. So we're going to go down to the floor. All right. I would like your right foot to be standing on your floor. Your left leg is in a tabletop position. We're taking the band and we're pressing the band onto your thigh. So you're making that band with just a little bit of resistance. Your head is going to stay down right now, but there's a bit of resistance from the band onto the top of the thigh. I'd like you to gently pull your knee towards your chest. We have 8 of those. You're breathing however you want. Your shoulders are active and your arms are pressing away from you. This is about number 3. See if you can release your jaw at the same time. 4. Noticing how that hip feels, how do your abs feel. Good. Now, I'd like your thigh to stay right there, but you're going to lift your chest. And we're going to do little pulses with your chest going front. So your arms are pressing. They're elongating away from you. Keep your legs still right now. Let's do another 4 of those. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your head back down to the floor. Sling that band right over your foot so that it is on now the sole of your foot. You'll need to make your band even longer. Same leg.
Like this?
Just like that. Your leg is long to the sky now. I'd like you to make sure that band is going to stay on your foot. I tell you from experience, and Chris as well, it does not feel nice when it comes back and smacks you in the face. So make sure that foot stays with the band. I'd like you to lower your leg in front of you and lift your leg. So the arms are bent, right? So we have a little bit of a, oh, Mr. Lancy, we have a little bit of a work out for our biceps. It's not a lot. Your leg is going down and up. And if you would like to add a little bit for your foot, you're going to point on the way down and flex on the way up. Point on the down, and you go as far as you can. If you have a dog in the way, you know, just be mindful of your doggy.
This exercise called kick the dog.
Please don't kick the dog. I know he's really going to want to play right now. He's just like and we should be about headed into the last one of a down and an up. Good. Keep the band on your foot. Lengthen your other leg long on the floor. We're going to do leg circles now. You might need to make your band a little bit longer. I'd like you to circle your leg down, around, and up. Doesn't matter which way you start today. You're just going around. Notice how that might feel a little bit different with that resistance. Parts of it will feel good, parts of it maybe not so good. Let's do leg circles in the other direction. If you have an added weight of a doggy lying on your leg, good for you. If not, press your leg down to the floor. Good. You're finishing up your last leg circle. Keep your leg in the band. And I'd like you to stand your other foot back onto the floor. Mr. Lancelot, let's go out of the way so that people can see what Christian is trying to do right now. Very good. Okay, so your foot is going to stand on the floor. Now, it's going to get a little bit harder right here. If this doesn't feel like it's your exercise for today, bring both feet so they're standing on the floor. But we are lifting our hips, pressing your leg up towards the sky. Lift your hips up and lower them back down. We'll work like a board, one long spine, right? We're lifting and lowering. The standing leg is working quite a lot to make that happen. Notice how now your arms are getting also a little extra. We have about 3 more to go, depending on your speed at the house. And this last one, let's just kick it up one more notch. Lift your hips up. They'll stay up there. You might need to make your band a little bit longer. You're going to lower your leg and lift your leg. If possible, keep your hips up and do that little foot movement that we were talking about before. Pointing to go down, flexing to come back up. Hips lifting from the floor. We have 3 more to go. Excellent, everyone. Bring your hips down to the floor. Bring your legs down onto the floor, but we want both feet into that band. So the feet come into the band. Bring your legs down to the floor that they are relaxed. We are going up for our roll up. Lift your head. Look towards the front. Use that band a little bit as you roll up. As you're all the way up here, moving into a spine stretch forward, reaching your arms behind you. Make sure that band stays on your feet. Good. You can make it a little bit looser if you need to. Come back up tall to standing on your spine. Then again, tilting from the pelvis, rolling back down, bone for bone, till you arrive. Good. Let's do 2 more of these. Using your breath as you come up. Find the roundness. Reach your arms. That's a lot of extra stretch right there. Good. And all the way back down. I saw the look in Christian's face. He would like to also do 1 more time.
At least 5 more times.
No. Don't worry. We're not going to do 5 more times. Mr. Lancy is also looking to see.
He's excited.
Hey,
baby. Just relax.
Relax, little baby. Relax, little guy. Good. All right. Friends at home, Pilates people, we are ready for everything on the other side. So I'd like the other leg to be in your tabletop position. Your band is stretched, it's long, your arms are long. And we're going to start by bringing your knee towards your chest. We're going to do those 8 little times, bringing the knee closer in, noticing how your hip is working, your belly muscles, your arms are still giving resistance right here. That's it. Trust that what you're doing at home is correct. If it doesn't feel correct to you, play around with it, change it. All right, your leg stays in the tabletop position. I'd like you to peel your chest off, and we're going to do little pulses with your upper body doing in the chest lift right here. Little lift and lift. Really curving in the upper spine, trying to get up just a little bit higher. And 6. Great job, everyone. All the way back down to the floor. Sling that band onto your foot. So the band, you need to make that longer.
Did you say swing?
Sling.
Swing that?
Swing and slinging. Swing and slinging. All right. So it's on perhaps the ball of your foot, but we want to make sure that it stays there. We're going to lower and lift your leg.
Swing and sling.
I know, you learned a new word today. Maybe you could go down with a point and up with a flex, But if that feels a little bit too much in the coordination, forget about it. Your biceps are working a tiny bit right there, or a lot, depending on how thick that band is that you're working. Good, keeping your arms a little bit bent. Work those shoulders as well. And that should be about your last one. Keep the band where it is. And we're going to stretch your other leg now long on the floor. Good. We're doing our leg circles. You can take the band longer if you want, a little less resistance. And I'd like you to really, like if you're familiar with your leg circles anyways, I'd like you to go, because we have that band resistance, bigger than you normally would do. Y'all looking awesome. Let's do the other circles. Check in with your breathing. Everything stays the same. Conscious breath. All right. So we're finishing. Your leg is up towards the sky. Stand the other leg back onto the floor. Remember, you could change this, forget the band, and bring both feet onto the floor if you want to. Or keep your leg reaching up to the sky. Your standing heel is pressing down. Lift your hips and back down. And lift. So we're starting our bridging sequence. Lengthening your low spine. Pressing your leg down. So you really feel the activation in your glute, your hamstrings, in your low back even. Should have around 2 more, but you're working to where you feel good. And then we'll lift and we'll stay up there. Okay, hips are going to try to stay on the same level. Like always, we'll lower the leg and lift the leg. You could add that point and flex. Just make sure the band is staying on your foot. Because we have that extra resistance, you could really feel how much work it is to lengthen, to elongate your leg, reaching out away. All right. That looks great. We bring our hips down, bring both feet back into your band. Bring your legs down to the floor. You could either lower them straight down or bend them and stretch them out. We're doing our roll-ups again to that spine stretch forward. Taking your head off, bone for bone. Use the resistance from your band to help you. Round yourself over and reach your arms back. Stack your spine and bone for bone all the way back down. Excellent. And we're going to go one more time all the way up. Spine stretch forward. And then come back tall up to seated. Thank you for joining us today. Why don't you check us out in one of our live stream trainings or watch any one of our hundreds of pre-recorded videos made just for you. You could find that in our Perfectly You Inspire membership. If you're a teacher, you might want to grab any one of our free resources. That's down below in the bio.
Yes, if you can't get enough for right now, why don't you go over here, watch the next video, go over there to subscribe. If you have any questions, anything you would like to know, please leave us a comment down there below. In the end, thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.
Bye.